Ashton Owens, driver of the number 5 F1 Racing Engine's front-wheel drive Chevy Cavalier. You're listening to Chase the Ace on the Edge, TXK.com.
Red Lick, Texas! Red Lick Mafia! Take the checkered flag!
The chosen one.
Well, hello again, Arklatex. Namaste. Chase the Ace here, bringing you tonight's Arklatex Dirt. It's our season finale here for the coverage we launched into the local dirt scene back in around August or July of this season, and I hope everyone's doing well tonight and you're ready for this cold snap coming over the weekend, because it's definitely coming. Hunters will be happy, but everybody else going to be a little nipply, but it'll definitely make that Louisiana State Championship a lot more interesting, as we got to battle that cold, got to stay warm down there at Boot Hill Speedway. So without further ado, let's get to some dirt! So this weekend we've got the 45th annual Louisiana State Championship down at Boot Hill Speedway, Greenwood, Louisiana. As Ricky Burke and them down there have done a great job all year and look to close it out with this big event. It's going to be a kick-ass show, excuse my language, but it's a 2-day show with a lot of good stuff going on down there. And, you know, Friday's going to hold some heat races for the limiteds, the factories, the pro mods, also the 4-cylinders and the wedge carts. They're going to run a full show Friday night, so that in itself is going to be a good deal. And then Saturday, of course, you'll get into some B-mains for the limiteds, factories, and pro mods, and 4-cylinders and wedges will be back for a full show, but as well as the modifieds. They're going to be there running Saturday night for a full show, and got some extra money on the line for everybody. 4-cylinders will run for $150 on Friday and $2 on Saturday. The modifieds on Saturday will run for $1,000. Pro mods, I believe, are running for $1,200 to win, and the factories and limiteds, well, they're going to be running for a cool $2,000. So if you don't have any plans this weekend, or, well, even if you do and they aren't that great or important, cancel them, get your butt down to Boot Hill Speedway and check this one out, because it's going to be a good one, folks. Now, myself, I'm going to be spending another weekend at home with the family. A little disappointed. This one was on my list to make this year, and I'm still, though, licking my wounds and working on the Dodge after the Dodge Slayer met the Deer Slayer a couple weekends ago when I was coming back from the Armadillo Nationals up there at Lone Star Speedway. But thanks to good old buddy Steven Norton, old Choo Choo, he's got me almost fixed up and landing me some deals on a hood and fender and radiator, transmission cooler, all the lines, brackets, the grill. I mean, just everything that it tore up there. So he helped me out, and I appreciate that way more than he probably knows, and going to get me road ready here, and can't thank him enough again for all that. But with all that going on, and then next weekend will be the Texas Motor Speedway NASCAR weekend. Now, this will be the 6th year in a row that we've went to camp for that one, and, you know, that's important in its own right, but I've also got lucky and landed a media credential to be down there, so going to be doing some work for the first time, and, of course, with that excitement, pretty much if I had to walk, I'd be there. So on the camping side, though, like I say, 6th year in a row we've done that. First year we went down there, me and a buddy Joseph Turcott, we ran into some guys from Cedar Rapids, Iowa, 3 of them, and of course this is me and Joey, so 2 of us, and well, after our loud generator pissed them off, we started using theirs and tied in and became buddies. You know, they saw us 2 big Texas-fed boys and what we was cooking, and they said, oh my, man, that food looks good and smells good, and it tasted just as good, so they buddied up with us, and basically since then we've been there every fall with them, and they bring 6 or 7 now, we bring 6 or 7 now, and this year we even went to Talladega back in May and met them there, so it's been a cool deal. I love that. And, you know, that's more about the camaraderie in that weekend than it is the NASCAR race. But with the media pass, again, I'll get to have a little different view of everything, as I'm going to have access to the garage, to the broadcast center, the media center, got an infield parking pass. So needless to say, I'm going to be like a kid on Christmas morning, and I'm going to have to try to hone some of that and, you know, reel it back, because I can't really be all fandom-like, you know, when I'm working on the media side. I'll be wanting to do an interview and then ask for an autograph, and you just don't do that. But, you know, it's going to be a cool ordeal. So if you get a chance, 1017, the country station here in town, I don't really listen to country, but that's a big one for a lot of folks around here, should be doing probably a live remote from the track Friday and or Saturday. So you may can catch me on there, down there talking, but otherwise everything I do will probably get aired later in the weekend, Sunday, or maybe into Monday. We'll see how that kind of goes. But definitely I'm going to have fun checking it out and working down there. And, you know, that all takes a lot of time and commitment. And again, why I'm going to bail on Boot Hill, the Speedway, and just do the family thing. And, you know, I've had to give up a lot of weekends since July and August because of this. So in its own right, I'm going to enjoy actually not being at the track and being with the kiddos and the wife. And, you know, fall festivals are going on and Halloween's kicking off. So we're going to have some fun. And everyone else, though, is going to be down there, you know, do have a fun time, safe travels and all that good stuff. And I won't be there, but have a fun time for myself even. Now, before we get into tonight's recap of some of the recent racing at Lone Star Speedway, Arklatex Speedway, and what we've been doing, I want to talk about a little bit of a somber, sad moment, but looks like everything is going to be okay in the long run. But a recent unfortunate event, Super Bowl Speedway over in Greenville, Texas this past weekend. A lot of you probably seen online. A young boy was unfortunately hit with some debris during the race last Saturday and, you know, looked very bad to say the least there on it. You know, had to get airlifted out and taken to the hospital and have some work done on his skull and things of that nature, you know. And again, thank goodness it's taken a turn for the better in the sense that he's already at home where he belongs after a couple days in the hospital and looks to make a full recovery, but that road to the end is going to be long and tough for him and the family. So everyone, of course, keep them in your thoughts and prayers moving forward. And there's a lot of stuff going on online for the family there. And, you know, hopefully if you can pitch in any way, big or small, you know, they're going to appreciate that. I promise it, you know. And that's Peyton Cranfield, 3 years old, that got hurt at his first dirt track event and just, again, was touching to a lot of us and tough, man. And once I read about it and then, of course, saw the picture of him at the track that night and then the picture afterwards with what happened, I just couldn't do nothing but cry, man. It was just such a sad deal. And again, I'm glad it's going to, you know, work out and turn for the better, long road again. But it's just, you know, it's just touching. Anything with a young kid of that age, more or less, at a dirt track with what happened, it's just surreal. So, again, just do what you can. Donations, there's shirts and gifts and all kinds of stuff going on. The family, I'm sure, you know, appreciates everything. Myself, I'm taken aback, just like I'm sure they are, just how awesome and together this dirt racing community is when stuff like this happens. So, rock on, guys. And, you know, myself, I had the idea yesterday morning, you know, after a couple days of thinking of what I could do besides some small monetary donation. You know, I don't really have a lot of things like these drivers do. They're coming up with, you know, old trophies and checks and shirts and hats and stuff and all that. So I got the idea to get with a buddy of mine, Mr. Jerry Rubley, maybe get a helmet down there with me at Texas Motor Speedway. Now, being on the media side, I can't really get autographs and stuff like that, but he's going to be down there in the infield, and he rubs shoulders with all these big names all the time and knows them personally. So it's going to get him to get some autographs on it, and, you know, just took a little idea there and pitched it to him, and he was all, you know, willing to help, of course, and hadn't heard about what happened, so I sent him some stories on the Facebook there and tagged him in it, and next thing I know, within 8 hours, you know, he's got a deal set up with the family to come to the track, and we're going to have 2 helmets and auction one off or raffle one off for proceeds to help them out fully to the family, and the other helmet they'll get to keep themselves, and, you know, just took my little idea and made it just an awesome, awesome thing, man, and far and over what I ever expected or thought that would turn out to be. So I got to thank you, Mr. Rubley. I know the family appreciates it as well, bud. So, you know, that's just going to be a cool deal. I'm glad to have a small part in it, to say the least there. So it sounds like they may even make it to the track there, of course, for the event and get the helmets there and rub elbows with some of NASCAR's names. So, again, I appreciate it so much, Jerry, and, you know, taking that and running with it. You truly have a big heart, buddy, and that's not a fat joke. So, you, sir, the definition of what more Americans need to be like, truly. So, if this is all news to you about Peyton, though, and what happened, get on Facebook. You can find it. You can see it on my personal page there even. You'll see some shares and stuff of the stories, and it's a tear-jerking one again. Be aware there, but again, it's going to be all okay in the long run, and that's what matters. So be tough for your mama, Peyton, and remember, a lot of dirt racing drivers and fans stand with you and your family right now, and if all else fails, we got your back, buddy. So we'll get into some of that. Then, well, I'll come at you with some familiar rants that I did earlier in the year, the opener show, actually. I'm going to replay that here tonight, and what I felt like would be kind of good for everyone to hear again, or if you didn't get to hear it, I want you to hear it. So, and then, well, gang, you don't have to hear me again for a few more months unless you listen to 98.7 or 105.1 FM and hear me on there. So kick back, relax, and check out what we got. It's coming next, right after about 90 seconds where I need to pay the bills. We'll be right back, Arklatex, after a few words from our sponsors. Listen up, Texarkana. Did you know that a termite infestation can do more damage than you can even imagine if it isn't stopped immediately? Don't ignore the warning signs. Hollow sounding wood, seeing groups of winged insects around or near your home, cracked or distorted paint on wood surfaces, or mud tubes on exterior walls. If you see these signs or even suspect that you may have a termite problem, then I have good news for you. Since 1958, Pillow Termite and Pest Control, Texarkana's premier team of termite and pest removal experts. So call Pillow Termite and Pest Control 903-223-8351 or stop by 6620 Hughes Road in Texarkana. They won't stop until the job is done. Listen up, Hog fans. Well, another tough outing for Arkansas, who had a checklist to hang with the Auburn Tigers, and it was simple. Stop the Auburn running game, put Auburn's tempo in check, force turnovers, play 4 quarters. Well, that list went unchecked. But our downward spiral may have a temporary stop this weekend as we continue a tradition going on since 1908 and playing the Ole Miss Rebels. The Hogs look to make it 4 wins in a row over Ole Miss, and last week they lost their starting quarterback, Shea Patterson, so they're looking about as shaky as Arkansas as of late. So even though this isn't last year's ranked versus ranked matchup, it looks like the Hogs might get their first SEC win of the season.
On Stands Now, featuring 22 schools, 4 colleges, and just about anything you might want to know about all area competitive sports, business, and news. That's right, it's the Competitive Edge magazine, a positive, in-depth look at our area's greatest people. Pick up yours today and get your edge. The Competitive Edge, on Stands Now everywhere.
Listen up, dirt track fans. What's better than slinging dirt on a Saturday night? Well, slinging dirt on Friday and Saturday night. And that's exactly what you have the chance to go see this Friday and Saturday night. October 27th, October 28th, from one of the baddest little dirt tracks in the region. I'm talking about the 45th annual Louisiana State Championship. They're going to have the best of the best coming from all of the 4-state area and probably even further as they battle for the right to call themselves the 2018 Dirt Champ of Cajun Country. You'll get a chance to see the mini wedges, 4-cylinders, modifies, pro mods, factory stock, and limited modifies. Full shows both nights for 4-cylinders and wedge carts, full show Saturday night for modifieds, and the limiteds, pros, and factories are going to run a 2-day event there with heats on Friday, B-mains on Saturday, and the A-main on Saturday as well. So added purses all around. It's $1,200 to win the pro mods, $2,000 to win the limiteds and factories. So cancel your boring plans, put off your buddy or family, and get your rear down to Greenwood, Louisiana this Friday and Saturday night for this epic closing race.
NASCAR driver Mike Wallace, and you're listening to Chase the Ace on the Edge, TXK.com.
All right, Arklatex, we're back here. Now, first thing I want to do, though, before we get into that whole Armadillo National stuff I was talking about, I was able to catch up with Caleb Schoen after he ran this past weekend. He was over there running for Bo Day and kind of wanted to get a rundown of his night, so he was nice enough to catch up with me, and here's what old Caleb had to say. All right, Arklatex, we've got Mr. Caleb Schoen on the line, driver of the number 4D GRT chassis Bo Day Modified, as he was sitting in the driver's seat this past weekend over at Super Bowl Speedway for the Larry Killian Memorial Big Tom's race. They had $1,500 to win, $225 to start, and we're going to catch up with him after a night of racing this past weekend over there. So I appreciate you taking a moment to catch up here with us, Mr. Schoen, and I hope you're doing well as always.
Oh, yeah, man, doing good.
Well, good deal, man. Well, to kind of get into it here, I know this deals came together here recently to get to run some races here for Bo Day at the end of the season in that 4D GRT Modified. So, just any specifics on how that kind of came together for you at the end of the season here, and just, the preparation, everything led up to the race itself the week before, working on the car, everything that went along with that, just anything at all there that the fans would find interesting, basically, bud.
Yeah, I kind of helped Bo a little bit this year. He ran that late model deal a little bit, and I kind of helped him out a little bit with that late model deal. And he had told me back in the summer there, they had a late model race at Boot Hill, and he had the modified in the trailer, and he had ran Timberline the night before with the modified, and he had said, "Hey man, if you want to run the mod down at Boot Hill tomorrow night, come down and run it." And we actually put that deal together, and I went down there to run it, and we got down there and worked on it and got everything ready to go, and come a flood right before hot laps there and rained us out. So we got to kind of got rained out of that deal, so didn't get to get it done that night. And tried to put another deal together later on, and the weather was kind of looking iffy, and pretty good little drive down there for Bo. So we didn't get to put it together there either. And we've been trying several things there to get in that thing and run it one night. We just never could put it all together, but we finally lined it up to where I could get down there and run that thing this week. Bo did some swapping around there with his late model and got him a MB Custom mod there, and he wanted me to drive that GRT this week. So we went down there Friday evening after work, and me and him kind of pulled an all-nighter there and got everything together, and went over to Super Bowl there on Saturday for the Toms event.
Well, glad it finally worked out to get over there and get your feet wet in that car for Bo there. So, and yeah, I know a lot of people were late night driving. I saw a lot of people that went over that way, and a lot of them not getting back till the crack of dawn there. So it was a late night to say the least for everyone that made it over that way. And getting into that, in the draw, you went into the heat race there. Started third row outside, I believe, so 6. Was able to drive your way up to third, though, there. That way it got you into the redraw for the top 8 qualifiers for the feature. But first, kind of focusing on the heat, man, how'd that go for you with starting 6 and kind of your run to pass a few cars to get up there to third?
Yeah, we hot lapped there, and I felt decent, and we come in and made a few adjustments there, and was kind of worried. They had a little water truck problem there at Greenville there Saturday. The water truck went down on them, so racetrack didn't have much water on it, so it was kind of narrow and around the bottom there. So I was kind of worried starting third row outside there. I told the guys I was kind of worried about trying to get up through there. I was afraid we might be kind of hung out to dry when we went green there, but we worked our way to the bottom in the first corner there, and next thing I knew we was up to 4th from 6th, and ran second and third down there and got by third, and actually thought we might have something for second. The leader kind of got out there on us, but thought we might have something for second. But we ended up getting third, and that got us in the show, gave us enough passing points to get in the redraw, and worked out pretty good for us, actually.
Well, good deal. And, yeah, with the redraw there, I believe it was a 3 you drew, so kind of exciting there, getting to start third for the A main. But go ahead and give everyone a little recap. I know you had some issues there in the feature, unfortunately. What exactly happened there, Caleb?
Yeah, we pulled the 3 in the redraw, and man, was kind of pumped up about that. Made a few adjustments and thought, man, we might actually have a shot here. For sure, run top 3. Maybe if not top 5 for sure. With a really good field of cars there. I think there was 32 mods there, and probably 28 of them could have won on any given night anywhere around here. And was pretty pumped up with starting third. Thought we might have a shot, maybe running top 3 for sure. And we was idling around there on the parade lap and kind of gassed it up a little bit. I don't know if we might have a needle and seat stuck in the carburetor or accelerator pumps hanging up or what, but had some fuel issues and just couldn't get going when we went green there. So we pulled her in, and we're gonna try to get her lined out. Maybe run her. If not, go to that Jordan Page Nationals at Ardmore this weekend. Maybe we can hit that next Tom's race at Greenville in a couple of weeks.
Hey, there you go. Well, definitely look forward to it, man, and hate that happened in the feature, but, as everyone says, right, that's racing sometimes, but doesn't make it any easier when something like that happens, especially after a good redraw and getting a race, a field like that over there for the Tom Series. I know they had a lot of bigger names over there, yourself there, Jason Sartain, Brad Daugherty, Jack Sartain. Who else I see on there? Ronnie Wellborn, Chris Huckabee, Bode, of course, was there with you, and just who's who in that field, man, and would have been fun to see how it all ended up working out for you. But hopefully next time go a little bit better. And, kind of wrapping up, do you know y'all's plans, for the rest of the season? I know we're kind of getting close to closing everything up here at the end of the year, October and maybe a little bit November. But do you know where y'all may plan on trying to be as we wrap it up here?
Yeah, me and Bo talked, and we may try to, like I said, hit that Jordan Page Nationals there at Ardmore this weekend, depending on my work schedule. I know Bo's going, and we talked about maybe me trying to get down there and go, but like I say, depending on my work schedule on what happens there, I kind of got to play it by ear till the last minute here and just to see how that goes. But for sure, going to hit Greenville's got that other Tom's deal coming up on the 21st. We're for sure going to try to get down there and go to that, and try to help Bo get that new MB there lined out a little bit. I've been trying to help him, and my focus is more on getting him going in that deal because, you know, he kind of helped me out, gave me a ride there. So trying to help him get as good as I can get him, you know. But we're for sure gonna hit that Greenville deal, and like I say, depending on my work schedule this week, maybe that Ardmore deal this weekend, and then we'll see where it goes from there, I guess.
Hey, I understand. Well, hopefully your work schedule is a little more flexible than your brother's, huh?
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, those union jobs, man, they have their perks, but they have their cons as well. But every time I turn around, I keep looking for that one end to be out there somewhere. But you know, I don't know when they'll have the time to get that thing going again. So.
Yeah, I've been working on him, trying to get me to maybe let me wheel that thing a couple times, but I hadn't got him to give in yet.
Well, we'll have to work on them together. I'll have to get a little bug in his ear too then. So
there you go.
You know, kind of wrapping it up here with you, Caleb. Just any other thing else you want to say, or anybody you want to thank, friends, fans, sponsors, just anything at all, partner? Yeah,
I got to for sure thank Bo Day and his wife there, and all his crew there for giving me the opportunity to run that deal, and all the help they gave me this past weekend there. And I got to thank my wife for supporting me there, and my mom and dad 100%, and just thank all Bo sponsors that helped him out. I'm not sure who all he's got in the car there, but appreciate everything they done for us, and appreciate the opportunity this past weekend, and maybe we'll get to run that deal a couple more times.
Oh, gotcha. We'll definitely look forward to it. I'm sure we'll catch up with you again before the end of the year here as we, same thing, kind of get ready to wrap our stuff up here in October with the coverage we're doing, basically. But appreciate your time again as always. We'll catch you down the road. Good luck, of course.
Hey, man, I appreciate what you're doing for racing around here. We've needed this for a while, you know, and I think it for sure it's helped, and I think it'll help in the future if we can keep it going, you know, keep the fans in it, you know. It gives the fans something to listen to during the week, and I think it'll help out for sure.
And, of course, appreciate Caleb doing that and giving me that word, man. I love following him around, too. And, you know, growing up in Red Lick, everyone knows my ties to the Red Lick drivers. But also, I graduated from Hook, went to school with Caleb and Chris. They're a little bit younger than me. Chris a year down and Caleb a few years down. But, you know, go back with the Shones myself quite a ways, especially Chris, and our running around high school days and being dumb you-know-whats back then. So, always cool to follow them, whatever they're doing. And hopefully Caleb will get a ride next year to be out there more full-time, get to see him around here somewhere. And, you know, I don't know what Chris's plans are. I know Norton's got that modified ready to rock and roll when he can get some time to work on it and get somebody in the seat like Chris or Patrick Lynn earlier in the year. So we'll see where that goes. But, you know, just cool deal, man. Love watching them and getting to follow that around. So.
She's a good girl, loves her mama, loves Jesus, in America too. She's a good girl. Crazy about Elvis, loves horses, and her boyfriend too. In life, just somewhere as you want, baby. Give me both your precious tears.
Say, give me some tops. Give me some tops. Give me some tops.
Hey Arklatex, this is Dustin Tater, driver of the AT Buck Incorporated Modified. You're listening to Chase the Ace on 98.7 Texarkana Radio Center.
It's time to move on. It's time to get going. What lies ahead, I have no way to know. But under my feet, baby, grass is growing. It's time to move on. Time to get going.
Here next, I'm excited because this is the fun part for the show for myself. We're going to get into some coverage from Lone Star Speedway, Armadillo Nationals. Got to say, big thank you to Sam and Lisa Haverty and Susie Ingalls, the whole crew over there, Bill Kitchen for bringing me in over there. And, you know, that was a eye-opener sitting down and getting to work that place Friday and Saturday on the microphone side and announcing, and got to go down and do the Victory Lane interview for the limited modified race at the end of Saturday night's deal for the Armadillo Nationals. And even though that guy didn't end up winning the race because of tech, and, you know, the top five didn't even be the top five because they all failed tech, that's a whole nother story. You know, it turned out to be a good night and a fun thing, but crazy stuff up there in Tech afterwards, man. Had to drive 2 hours away to Tech the 6th place car in that limited modified race, and that was your winner of the event there. So nuts to say the least, but we're not going to get into that. So kick back, relax. We're going to kick that off here, and again, you're going to hear some of myself and Mr. Bill Kitchen announcing on the night during the Armadillo Nationals Friday and Saturday. And then, of course, you're going to hear some stuff in there from Danny Rambo on his night Saturday and his big old win down there. And then mainly a lot of stuff with myself and old Dustin Tater Hyde as he was down there chasing that Armadillo and that $3,000 check in that Tom's 40 lap main event. So we're coming with that next. All right, we're here with Dustin Tater Hyde. We're down here at the Lone Star Speedway, Kilgore, Texas for the Armadillo Nationals. Just got done with our first time trials here and had some hot laps before that, and just going to kind of catch up with Tater here before he gets to work on the car. Kind of talk about hot laps itself, Tater, how the car ran and what you did after hot laps.
It wasn't bad, you know, we were a little too tight, so we came in, me and Jake pulled the tires off of it and put a wheel spacer on to try to free this thing up for the time trials. So we went out there for that, and it wasn't bad, it was a little better, but the results ain't came out yet, but I think we was okay.
You got some other changes you think you're going to make for the heat race y'all get to run tonight?
Yeah, we're going to check the pull bar and scuff some tires and everything, get ready for this qualifier, and hopefully we got a good starting spot in it. We'll know after these time trial results are posted.
Well, good deal, guys. There's a who's who of cars here tonight with the Tom Series touring. $3,000 on the line. I'm going to make Tater buy me some supper if he wins it tomorrow night. So we'll catch up with everything later, and we got a lot of good racing going on down here, and Alan Clemens is shooting me the bird right now, so I'll go down there and catch up with him and old John Catman Mitchell.
Row inside, driving car number 66X. It's Mike Dillard, and on his outside, the 25D car is Donnie Ship. Third row inside out of Red Oak in the 4M car, Bobby Malkus. To his outside from Mansfield, the 14T, your current Tom's Point leader, Tristan Dykes. Back to row number 4 from Longview in the 75D, it's K-Daddy Kyle Taylor. On his outside, the 75D car, Kenneth Densman. Back to row number 5, the 74 is Jason Hammond. To his outside from Kilgore, the 16X and Jeff Harris. In the 3C, it's going to be Charlie Smith, and shotgun on the field, the 14Z from Kilgore, Zach McMillan. 12 laps the distance. Y'all ready? I'm ready. Go for it.
It'll be Dustin Tater Hyde coming out of turn 2 there on the outside. Going to take the lead, and Patrick Daniel will fall in a second.
I think it's Mike Dillard scraping the wall there off turn 2.
3 wide back here for that, coming out of 4.
Zach McMillan picking up a spot off turn 2, but that's a long way from transfer. Right now, your 4th and final transfer position belongs to the 14th team, Tristan Dykes. Hot on his heels is Bobby Malkus. Malkus trying to break into the top 4, and Tater got loose off the 2. Daniel trying to take advantage as they battle up turn 4.
So he'll fall in behind Tater there as he got a push in 3 and 4. Looks like we may have a race for the lead in a moment if Tater cannot get that thing under control on 2 coming on that backstretch. You know, Dykes wants to stay in that transfer spot there in 4th, being the Tom's Points lead.
Battle for transfer heating up now as they race into turn 4. Malkus drops to the inside of Dykes.
Dillard's got another issue coming out of 4 there.
Bobby Malkus is taking over that 4th and final transfer spot away from Tristan Dykes. That's very unfortunate to put Dykes back in the B-main and kick it back.
They've got to kind of sort it out for a minute here, see the file, and we'll see who can kind of make a run. If Dykes can get back up there, maybe challenge for that transfer spot. But right now, he's falling back a little bit. So we're coming to 2 to go. Dustin Tater Hyde out of Red Lake, Texas. We're taking it to 1 and 2 there. And right now, he's got a little comfortable lead, but you just never know what'll happen with 2 to go.
Bobby Malkus in that 4 car is trying to get into the redraw now as he is caught. Donnie Ship trying to hang on to that 3rd spot. The white flag is in the air. Can Malkus make a move? I don't think so.
Dustin Tater Hyde will take the checker, take the first Tom's heat race.
That concludes the first Tom's Modified Qualifier. Your unofficial top 5 finishers finishing 5th in the 14T and headed for a B main if nothing changes. It's going to be Tristan Dykes. In the 4th spot, they'll move him directly into the A. It'll be the 4 car Bobby Malkus, your unofficial top 3 finishers, and headed for a redraw tomorrow night. The 25 car Donnie Ship gets 3rd. Patrick Daniel, your fast timer, will end up 2nd.
We were a little tight on the get-go of it. We was lucky to get out front and getting clean air. Patrick Daniels, you know, I knew he was right there, and he's a tough racer, and kind of jumped the cushion once there and got up in the wall, and I seen his nose, and lucky was able to gather things back up and kind of pull away from everybody.
So the unofficial top 4 cars as they run. Rolling the racetrack, Jason Ingles in the 12, Chris Hennigan in the 16, and Justin Ingles in the 52. Now those 3 guys, if they finish like that, will go into the redraw. 1 through 9 redraw. Billy Jack Brutchin in the 4th and final transfer spot, but he's going to have a tough restart because he's got to line up on the inside of row number 3. That will put Denny Guyver in the 8 car to his outside. Denny Guyver has won a lot of races here at Lone Star Speedway. He knows where the fast way around the racetrack is. He's not very much interested in letting Billy Jack Brutchin get back to that outside lane.
Definitely not. Definitely favorably restarting out there on the outside of Billy Jack, and it'll be interesting to see what Billy Jack can do on the restart to kind of squeeze him up high or kind of, you know, hold him there to see what he can do going into 1. It'll be interesting.
He's got to hope Chris Hennigan gets the jump on Justin Ingles there in row 2. That gives him a chance to maybe get the jump on Denny and make a quick move. Plus, it seems, and it's been like this for the last couple of weeks, the inside lanes of turns 1 and 2 has got more grip than the inside lanes of 3 and 4 has. And so they've been able to make some moves on the low side of 1 and 2. But if you can't clear him on the back straightaway, you give it back when you get to 3 and 4. So it's kind of a tough deal there if you're stuck on that inside.
Yeah, and I've noticed track getting blacker and blacker, taking that rubber. It'll be interesting to see what it does to the inside line getting later on in the night here.
It's really interesting watching the factory stock lap times. Almost every factory stock got faster on their second lap. And they're running asphalt pull-offs, so as the track was taking rubber, they're getting heat in the tires for the second lap, and almost every one of them got faster on their second lap out there in the factory stock division. And that black strip of rubber's got a lot to do with that, in that particular tire. You're seeing 3 different tires in these classes. You get the American Racer tire in the modified class and the Tom's class here. You got the Hoosier 500 in the limited class, and then you got asphalt pull-off tires on the factory stock.
We're going to go back green, watch Guyver and Brutchin there battle for the transfer spot on the restart. Who's going to take it here?
They went right, Guyver took it, they went right to the inside block. The 78, look at that 5 car. Brad Couch in that 5 car. We got one spun there.
Oh, Brutchin gets in the wall a little bit over there in 3 and 4. He's falling back a few spots.
Got a broken right front. Justin Ingles is going to be out of this race, folks. He broke the right front on the 52 car, and he was in a top 3 redraw position. So things just got shook up big time there.
Tough break for Ingles there in the 52, and then again Brutchin falling back several spots there too when the caution was about to come out.
That was Larry Fears with the issue there off the turn 2 of car 11. So Ingles, Hennigan, and I think Guyver will be in 3rd. Now, who's going to be 4th? That's the question. A tough break for the 52 car of Justin Ingles as he has to pull into the infield. And it looks like Larry Fears is going to call it a race as well there in the 11. So we're down to 7 cars in our final modified qualifier. 4 of them go to the A main, 3 of them to the redraw. 9 laps in the books, just 3 laps remaining.
It's going to get dicey for that transfer spot on this restart. Keep an eye on it.
The second place car gets his choice of lane, and Chris Hennigan wanted Denny Guyver to the inside, not the other way around. But the battle for transfer is going to be in that 3rd row. Brad Couch, who's got a very fast car, he showed that in time trials too, in that 5C car. What he doesn't seem to have is a working receiver, unfortunately. But when we get him, he's supposed to be up there. I'd be ashamed to lose a chance to lock into the A main because you can't get lined up. But I'll tell you what, race receivers are awesome when they work, and they have really sped up their track programs. I don't know how many times you sat and watched them write it out on the chalkboard, you know, flash it to people. But tough break for Brad Couch. So who is that now battling for the transfer?
I believe that's the 9C of Colby O'Neill. Tell you what though, might not matter for Couch. He may come back up there anyway.
We're going to try it again. We're going to try it again because we didn't like the start. Somebody got too good of a start.
Brad Couch again making 3 wide on the restart, trying to get back over to the 4th to get that transfer spot.
Well, he timed that restart really well, and there he comes.
Battle for second, too, with a Hennigan there, and the 8 of Monty O'Neill. Or excuse me, Skip O'Neill was out there. That is the 8C of Guyver.
Oh, boy, I tell you what, they went, Brad Couch and Danny Veal both went in that third one hard. Got real close to the wall. I think we got the 2 to go sign coming out.
They come out of 4 here. Looks like they're going to get the 2 to go. Oh, problem there for the 9C. Colby O'Neill. He's going to pull it to the infield. 2 to go for racing Jason Ingalls, and Chris Hennigan still behind him trying to chase him down. Transfer spot still a battle of the 5s there between Couch and Veal. Couch can hold the shooters one more time there. Bill had a little problem coming off the 2 there. Checkered flag is out for racing Jason Ingalls. Christopher Hennigan there will be in second. And transfer spot will go to 5 of Couch. And then, of course, your top 3 redraw last spot there was the 8C of Denny Guyver. So, finishing that out unofficially there, just missing the top 4 will be the 5X of Danny Veal in 5th. 4th in your final transfer spot there is going to be the other 5, Brad Couch in the 5C. 3rd place unofficially will go to the 8C of Denny Guyver. That'll be your last redraw position. 2nd will be Chris Winnigan Hennigan. And your winner there, the 12, racing Jason Ingalls. The unofficial results of the last heat race here for the Tom's Modified Series.
Well, I'll tell you what, their redraw is going to be intense tomorrow night because that's going to mean so much for where they, where you get to start in that final event.
All right, everybody. Next, you're going to hear very limited content, but it is the limited modified second heat race from Friday night at the Armadillo Nationals. And then you'll hear the start of the factory stock race that I was going to call with Bill Kitchen as well, but you'll actually hear why that didn't go as planned.
He's got a pretty comfortable lead right now over Kelly Hollywood Lockie, who also has a pretty comfortable lead himself there with the 33X of Alex Williams and 4 of Boone Evans in the 78 of Brutchen.
Yeah, Brutchen started shotgun on this field. He's the one that's working his way forward.
Steve Evans, it looks slow again there. He's definitely having problems with that F5 ride.
Yeah, I think he's headed for the infield this time.
It looks like he keeps losing power and getting power back. Oh, the 81 of Ricky Ingalls has pulled it to the infield, coming out of 3 and 4 over here. Not sure what has happened. Bill will hand over the lead to the 14 of the Kelly Hollywood Lockie. I didn't see if he spun and pulled in, or if he just pulled in. Flag is out for Kelly Hollywood Lockie, as he's got a pretty comfortable lead right now with the 33X of Alex Williams. Looks like Brutchen trying to do something with Boone Evans over 3rd. Skeet Anderson still out there, but clearly not under full power. Checkered flag is out for the 14 of Kelly Hollywood Lockie. Oh, Boone Evans will get 3rd there over Brutchen. Good battle off of 4. So your unofficial top 5 here for the second heat for the limited modifieds being the 7 of Zach McMillan taking 5th. 4th will go to the 78 of Billy Jack Brutchen. 3rd will be the 4 junior of Boone Evans. 2nd will go to the 33X of Alex Williams. And your winner will be the 14 of Kelly Hollywood Lockie. Your unofficial results of the limited modified second heat race event.
They moved into a place they both could afford. He found a nightclub he could work at the door. She had a guitar and she taught him some chords. The sky was the limit.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody. But when she puts her arms around me,
Well, cars seem to look good on the outside there, Tater, and not too bad in the redraw, I guess, huh?
I always seem to run better on the outside. You know, last night we seemed to run most of the race there in that qualifier when we won it on the outside, and had a little boy in the stands draw me in number 4, so it could have been worse. I could have got a 9 or something like that, so we'll take anything we can get.
Well, Tater, looks like track conditions will probably change a lot between night 1 and night 2 here as we get a lot more action on the track there, and hopefully it equals out to some good racing. And kind of what's your thought on the track conditions and what they'll do here?
Yeah, we wasn't too bad. The track cleaned off quite a bit from it was pretty hammered down on the first night, and being locked in 2 days of racing, the track's got some races on it now, so it's blackened up quite a bit. I think we could stand to be a little bit tighter. I think it's going to take rubber. I'm not real sure yet, so we definitely don't want to be sliding the tires and burn our tires up for 40 laps, so we'll see what happens.
Well, good luck. Let's go out and get her done, and we'll catch up with you afterwards.
Breaker one, might be crazy, but I ain't dumb. Crazy Cootie coming at you. Anybody home on the hazard net?
Hey, dirt truck fans, this is Ryan Lynch, NASCAR Camping World Truck Series driver from New Boston, Texas, and you're listening to Chase the Ace on the Edge, TXK.com.
Number 2 Frisbee ad. You're looking good for $50, thanks to Big Texas Auto Parts. Who's got the number 8 Denny Guyver Frisbee? Right now, that's worth $25 if they stay like this, but if you got number 12 Jason Eagles, you might be thinking you're going to get that $25 at least, if not $50. He's running good. Jason Eagles. Jason with a move on the outside. Boy, did he set that up pretty. He tested him on the inside, then he didn't see it coming.
He's got about 10 laps to try to chase down Gaddis there. Good battle for third there as you throw Blake over Guyver, Hyde, Hennigan. Tell you what, now that Jason Eagles got around him too, he's made a little dent there, getting into that gap to Guyver. Or excuse me, that gap to Gaddis. We'll see how it works. Hennigan, they're going to be almost 3 wide coming out of turn 4 here. Hennigan takes the spot from Dustin Tater. Hyde looking to get around Denny Guyver next. He'll do it over here in turn 2. Drives it hard, gets around him, slides up in front of Guyver. Give Hennigan third.
Looks to be interesting.
Guyver's dropping a little bit more. 18 Dustin Tater Hyde trying to get back around as well to move his way back up to 4th. He may do it coming off of 2 here on that inside though. Strong run for Guyver on the top. Your top 3 have kind of separated each other, but you got a problem here with David Hatton in the 112. Caution's going to come out here with David Hatton. Stops at the top of turn 2.
It's like I thought he was having trouble with the lights for a minute. Wow, David Hatton breaks something on the front end of that car. We got a race up front. Kenny Gaddis, Jason Eagles, now Chris Hennigan will be 1, 2, 3 for this restart. There are 34 laps complete, just 6 laps to go. Single file restart coming up. Gaddis, Jason Eagles, Chris Hennigan, top 3. Tater Hyde running 4th. Denny Guyver in the infield, tough break for Denny. He led a bunch of laps, but something going amiss on the 8 car now. Pulls off with 6 to go, so that puts Bobby Malcolm in the top 5. Kyle Pleasant, John Mitchell, Patrick Daniel, David Witz, and Sean Gaddis is your top 10. This time by will be 5 to go.
Kenny Gaddis still your leader. Jason Eagles is second. Chris Hennigan's up to 3rd, trying to look for a way around Eagles here. 2 to go for your leader, Kenny Gaddis. Trying to lock up this Armadillo Nationals main event feature race. Chris Hennigan side by side with racing Jason Eagles. Good battle there for second. White flag will be out for your leader here, Kenny Gaddis. 1 more lap and he's going to bring home his win. Eagles giving a good run on that high side there. Hennigan gets low every time and can't complete the pass. Coming out of turn 4 being your Armadillo Nationals feature winner, Kenny Gaddis. Woo! Dustin Tater Hyde side by side. I think he'll take 4th there over Malchus. Give it up for the 2 of Kenny Gaddis. First feature win at Lone Star in probably about 12, 13 years it sounds like for Kenny Gaddis, bringing home the Armadillo Nationals, Tom's feature event. So
So again, Kenny Gaddis, Hallsville, Texas native, brings home the victory. Second place, unofficially, we'll go to the 12 of racing Jason Ingles. Third place, Chris Hennigan. Fourth place, the 18 of Dustin Tater Hyde. And the fifth goes to Malchus. Give it up down there for Kenny Gaddis as he puts on a show here. He's happy, boy. Look at him go. And, you know, pretty dominating win there for Kenny Gaddis. Once he was able to get around Denny Guyver, he just kept checking out. Really no one ever had a challenge for him. Once he got that lead, that thing was on a rail.
Recap your night for me, Tater.
We started fourth and got up to third, pretty quick there. And I got up underneath Gaddis before he ever got up by Denny. And I thought I had a shot at there to pass him, and I got up beside him on the back straightaway, and I backed back out of the gas, and I kept telling myself this thing is 40 laps. So, now that it's over with, I'm kind of thinking maybe I shoulda, coulda, woulda, but I wish I'd probably maybe pressed that issue a little bit. I think tonight clean air was a big deal. The track rubbered up, as I said earlier, it locked down a little bit more abrasive than what we thought there. And when you get, in traffic like that and you're following somebody, you tend to get a lot of heat in the tires. And we pretty much cooked the tires tonight. So I don't think we would have made many more laps. So, fourth ain't bad, with the competition that's here. We're real happy with it. There's a lot of good racers. And, Tom's brings in a bunch of guys from all over. And, starting fourth and finishing fourth, we'll take it. I think we'll make some notes here and we'll be better next time. That's all you can ask for.
Hey, that's it, man. Overall, good weekend, but, now that we've got some time to sleep on a little bit, I'll poke a little fun. Taters would want me to ride down here with him, but good thing I didn't, as he had a little trouble getting home Friday night. Old Green took a little nosedive, but he was good enough to get a hold of Hennigan and got some help there and got home. But you ready to get back now so you can work on that truck, ain't you?
Yeah, I need to get the truck home, and, you got to thank Chris and his wife, and his dad for getting me home, and Jeff Huckabee, my boss, let me borrow a truck to get back down here, and my wife came tonight, and everybody. I got to thank all my sponsors and everything for letting me be able to do this. It's just tough to do, and a bunch of good cars here tonight, and to come home in fourth place, and I feel like maybe, like I said, we had a shot there at one time and kind of waited too long, and but definitely Mom and Dad helped me get down here this weekend. Couldn't do it without them, and all of our sponsors and my wife for all of her help and everybody. And Jake came down tonight and helped. So very fortunate of the people that back this 18 machine, and hopefully we'll get some more wins here at the end of the year.
Well, fingers crossed, man, and we'll gear up and hopefully see you down at Boot Hill for the 45th Annual Louisiana State Championship, next event coming up. I haven't looked at the full racing series, but you going to make it back down here to Lone Star for the Turkey?
Yeah, that's our plans. I really like this place. Haven't got to come here much this year on a limited schedule. We haven't got to race a whole lot. But, first off, looking real forward to going to Boot Hill. Love that place. And, winning that race would be something amazing. We was fortunate enough a couple of years ago to win the Arclatech State Championship, and it'd be pretty cool to bring home the Louisiana State Championship. There'll be a lot of good racers there, and all we can do is give it all we can do, and do a lot of homework and get back to the shop and get us a truck that can get us to the track first.
Hey, there you go, man. Well, you don't want my Dodge. It's a gas eater. So appreciate your time as always, Dustin. We'll catch up with you later. And Arclatex, you've been listening to us here at the Armadillo Nationals, and we'll hopefully have this on air for you within the next week or so, and catch up with us next time we're at the track. If you see me walking around with my billboard shirt on, let me know. And if you see Dustin, go give him hell. So stay tuned, Arclatex.
Closing time. One last call for alcohol, so finish your whiskey or beer. Closing time. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. I know who would want to take me home.
All right, that Armadillo Nationals was fun to do. Again, I can't thank that track enough for letting me come down there, and I really hope I get to go down there again in the future, whether part-time, full-time, whatever it is. I'd entertain anything they offer, to say the least. So, anyway, that's about it for us tonight, guys. Now, I'm going to bring you one other thing here in our closing.
The interview we did with Dustin Tater Hyde from Timberline Speedway Texas State Championship Weekend, and I want everyone to pay close attention to old Tater's favorite TV show.
Dustin Tater Hyde, driver of the AT Modified.
How you doing tonight, Dustin?
Doing pretty good.
Well, that's good to hear, man. I appreciate you taking time out of your busy week between work and getting the car ready for this weekend's Texas State Championship. And here you're going down to Manny, Louisiana on Saturday for a big race down there. So a lot going on this week, I know. So appreciate you taking time to speak with us here. And just going to have a few questions, let the fans get to know you and get some background information. So as far as when you started racing, man, how old were you and what got you into, starting out some racing on dirt?
I was 13 years old. I raced go-karts before that. You know, my inspiration's always been my dad. It was something that he did before me, and you know, getting to learn that from him and him taking me as a kid, and you know, I just always idolized him for that.
Understandable, man. I remember back in the day running the go-karts. Where was that at? What track was that, out in Old Boston?
Yeah, it was actually in Maud out there at Highline Speedway is where we started. And
yeah.
Me and him did a lot of traveling together over the years, and you know, that definitely built a fire.
Well, I know currently you've been running the Modified for quite some time now. Have you got any plans on, racing any other divisions, or are you sticking with the Modifieds as far as you're aware, or anything, specifically class-wise that you're thinking of?
Right now, sticking with the Modified. It's just something that I started when I was 14 in the Modified class, and we're starting to, even though I'm only 31, I'm more of a veteran of this deal now because we've been doing it so long, and it's something I enjoy, and I like all the adjustments on it and everything. But part-time, we do run the limited Modified, when we can.
Well, definitely love seeing you in any series that you're running, man. Always a good show out there when Tater Hyde is on the track. So, we're about 3/4 of the way through the season at most tracks. Timberline kind of wrapping up with the Texas State Championship. I know they may run a couple Saturday races later on in the year, but, as far as your year, got kind of a late start for your normal self, taking care of that family business and things of that nature. But for your expectations on the season, how do you grade what you've done there in the Modified and when you've raced?
We got a late start. Right now I'm not nowhere where I've been in the past. I feel like we're a little bit behind the 8 ball, but that's what makes racing great. Is you get behind and other racers are having success, so you just got to keep digging and working harder out in the shop, every night and to get better. And our plans are to run some bigger races here at the end of the year. You got a lot of championship races down south. About 4 states, so we're really looking forward to wrapping up the year with some big races and getting this car lined out.
Well, good deal. Yeah, there's one thing we were going to bring up, and bring up a point now to that. You got plans on running anything? Vivian, I know, has the Tootsie Smith Memorial coming up, the Cajun Classic. You've got Boot Hill running the Louisiana State Championship later in the year. I-30 Speedway's got a couple big races even going on up there. Do you know for sure what you may be running?
I would like to make the Tootsie Smith in the Sport Mod deal. If God willing, we get that thing ready. Other than that, we're definitely the Louisiana State Championship at Boot Hill. Probably wrap up a few shows around Ardmore, Oklahoma. They got a couple big races, and Vivian, if they got something, we'll definitely go to that. Definitely the winter months are my favorite. It's not real hot outside, and the money starts getting on up there, so we look real forward to the winter months of racing.
Yeah, I definitely agree, man. The winter racing's a lot funner for the fan side as well, getting out of that heat. But, it seems like we don't do as much of that around here as I'd like, but it is what it is. So, speaking of some of those tracks we mentioned there, if you had your choice in a perfect world, the tracks in the Arklatex, DPS, Vivian, Boot Hill, Timberline, 67, I-30, if you could pick one that you ran at every single weekend and it worked out perfect for you, which track would you go to? What's your favorite?
I honestly have to say, for years 67 was my favorite, and I still love that place. They just run the Modifieds on a limited schedule, and I believe they're going to run us maybe a time or two this year. But Timberline Speedway's home. My family can come out. A lot lot of great people, a lot of old high school friends, and everybody comes out, and it's so nice to race in front of all your friends and people that you grew up with. You just can't beat that. But as far as on the road, I would have to say I-30 Speedway has probably always been one of my favorites. It's just, unfortunately, they don't run our sanctioning class anymore, but I always enjoyed trips down there in the past for the topless Coca-Cola Nationals back in the day.
Understandable. I was looking at their schedule earlier and trying to get to fit in the Dirty 30 they do for the IMCA races up there, man, just to get back up there and see one. So as we wrap it up here, man, speaking of our local tracks, Timberline 67, you've been in this for a long time. If there was anything you would like to see the tracks doing more of from the promoter side, something they're not doing now, something they're doing now but could do better, any ideas that Tater Hyde has that could help out these promoters, or ideas that you think would work good to get fans in the stands, get the car counts back up, just anything specific?
Well, I'm gonna be biased for a second. I'd like to see some more bigger modified races, but you can't dwell on that. I can give anybody a hard time on that, but I would like to see, a little bit radio advertisement. I remember that as a kid. Be listening to the radio going down the road, and then there you hear the racetracks running on the weekends or something. So that was always pretty cool, and maybe just targeting some of the people that don't come every weekend and that you might not get. Maybe go out and say, hey, here's your pass. I'd like to invite you out to come check it out. And if you get them home early and they hopefully will have a good time, they may come back the next week and bring some friends with them.
That's right. What a difference some years make. I remember growing up and being a teenager out at the tracks, and they weren't running until 1 or 2 in the morning. I didn't want to be there. Nowadays, I'm the same way. We're done by 10 or 11. Somewhat disappointed just because I like to see more racing, but at the same time, it's nice to be home at a decent time and not have that late travel and things like that. So, last little part, we're going to do a little rapid fire segment, very quick, 60 seconds or less, some personal questions, more outside of racing stuff, let fans get to know you and what you like and some of your personal information kind of. So we'll start that here. What's Tater's favorite movie?
Days of Thunder and probably the Six Pack with old Brewster Baker in there.
Favorite TV show?
Oh, One Tree Hill, actually.
Last movie you saw in theaters?
Baywatch.
Favorite video game?
I definitely have to be probably Dr. Mario.
Favorite sport outside of auto racing?
Definitely football. Dallas Cowboys all the way.
Go Boys. Favorite driver of something like late model, sprint cars, NASCAR?
It always have to be Gary Wright, Kevin Swindell. Those two right there, awesome.
Favorite local restaurant?
Texas Roadhouse.
And last but not least, favorite dirt track memory, whether it was as a kid or as a racer?
Definitely picking up in 2015 the Arklatex State Championship.
That definitely is a good one, man. Well, appreciate your time, Mr. Tater Hyde. And as we wrap this up here with you today, anything you want to say here at the end? Any sponsors you want to thank, or friends, family, anything at all?
Definitely. Thank you for having me. Definitely like to thank Buck Incorporated, Anders Trucking, G&G Enterprise, CDR Race Shocks, Team 5 Enterprise, the Knighton Center, Glenwood Wholesale, Custom Coatings, THR1, Dots Ace Hardware, Bill's Movers, F1 Racing Engines, my family, Brass Monkey Pull Bars, Day Motorsports, everybody that stands behind me. I can't thank everybody enough. This is an expensive hobby, and we couldn't do it without all them.
Well, definitely a good list there, and I'm sure they appreciate you just as much as you appreciate them, bud. And again, appreciate your time. We've been talking with Dustin Tater Hyde, driver of the 18 Modified out of Red Lick, Texas. So we'll be right back with more driver interviews. Stay tuned in here to The Edge, TXK.com.
I'm going to bring you one other thing here in our closing. A rant I did on the opening episode of Arklatex Dirt that, again, I want to point out, and I may say this on the little repeat parts coming up, but it's not specific for any track or promoter at all. This was just some ideas and things and stuff I had to get off my chest when we started this, because, again, a lot of this was about, getting the Texarkana area big on dirt racing again, with 67 closing its doors and not knowing what was going to happen, and then thank goodness the Gardners have got that place back up and going. Timberline running every other weekend, just struggling to try to keep their doors open as well and get fans in the seats and stuff like that. And, didn't know what I could do or how big a dent anything would make, and still don't know that. But, hey, whether small or big, I wanted to, help where I could. This was a rant I did that was about, what the promoters could be doing at all the tracks around here, whether Texarkana or Arklatex related, whatever it is, and things that might help get fans to the stands. Might even help with drivers showing up a little more often, things like that. And I really love doing that piece myself and getting that off my chest, so I wanted to bring that here in the closing as well for people that maybe didn't hear that and didn't even know about us when we started and have started tuning in. So I'm going to play that next. That'll be our last little piece, and after that, you don't have to hear me anymore till 2018. All right, Arklatex, I appreciate everyone staying tuned for those driver interviews. That pretty much is going to wrap it up for us this week. I do want to leave you all with one thought, though. You heard me earlier mention at the opening that I would kind of do this here, so it's kind of my 2 cents. Just an opinion I have. Maybe it's not worth a flip. I don't know. I just like to give my 2 cents and see if it helps, and maybe it's a winner, so be it. If not, it could be a flopper, and, I may learn and move on. I just, again, want to see what information, feedback I can get off some of these ideas, because I just don't know why some of this stuff isn't happening. So promoting at these tracks, I understand. This economy, this day and age, the value of $1, stuff like that, it's tough to shell out the dinero to do certain things. But to me, there's only so many things you can and cannot do without spending, bundles of money, basically. So there's some simple things that don't cost a lot that you could be doing. And if it brings in fans that weren't coming anyway, whether you're letting them in discounted or free, hey, that's another fan in the seat that hasn't been there. B, you're still making, concession money off the deal. If you can sell beer at the track versus just BYOB, but either way, you're making that money off BYOB or selling beer at the track, things like that, and maybe you gain a fan that comes back. Who knows? They're just, simple ideas that I think of that I think could be implemented to help drive fans back to the tracks, again, to get more awareness on these events. So, I'm not the smartest crown in the box all the time, and I know it. I may suck at running a business as well and being a promoter of one of these tracks. I don't know. I've never done it. And like I said earlier, you couldn't pay me to be a promoter, more or less me pay a track owner to be a promoter of the track that season. So, but I feel like, whether it was a good one or a bad one, whatever it is, it could be the worst in the sense of losing all my money and going bankrupt for all I know, but at least I feel like I would have tried a few more things than I see going on right now at some of our tracks and even some of the other tracks. Like I say, this isn't mean to bash anyone or any certain track, just my 2 cents on ideas for any local dirt track establishment to do some more things, and I just don't understand why they're not doing them. Maybe see more to help the local dirt venues. I just want to see a weekly schedule get ran every season at all these tracks that we get to go to. I want to see these tracks survive. And even with these ideas, I get that you got to have other things lined up first, sponsors, businesses, stuff like that. No different than what they're doing now, I'm sure, but it all goes to what? I see added money to purses. I see paying big series to come in, That's all fine and dandy and great to see, but it's not going to fill the stands every week, in my opinion. It's just going to fill your pits. So why not have stuff like a family pack? Say a $40 family pack. Get you 2 adult tickets, and your choice would be either, say, 2 kid tickets, 2 senior tickets, or 1 of each, a kid and a senior ticket. So there you go, 4 tickets, includes 4 hot dogs or 4 hamburgers, however you want to do it, 4 soda pops. It's expensive to bring your family to these races this day and age, so why not offer a family pack and get more families out there in the stands? How about drawing using the general admission ticket when you come in? The winner gets to ride in the pace truck during one of the feature events for the pace laps. I mean, that's something I, as a fan, especially growing up, man, I'd love to have, whether I was a kid, a teenager, or even an adult at some point as far as these diehard fans, man, that's something I think somebody would love to do. Get to do the pace laps and then pull in the infield after and get to watch the race from the infield. How many fans have actually seen a race from the inside of the track? I know I haven't. Or, hey, when you draw that ticket, how about a chance to meet your driver, your favorite driver out there? Whether it's a regular, someone that's just there that night, whatever it is, go sit in their car in the pits, take a photo in the car, take a photo with the driver, see their trailer, meet their crew, stuff like that. Or maybe the lucky ticket winner could even throw the green flag for a feature race from the flag stand. Ideas like that are endless that they could do with those tickets and stuff to, get the fan interaction there. You could also work with the local car wash, say to get discounts for fans to get their car washed with a proof of purchase, the admission stub, 1 or 2 days after the races, whatever you want to cap it at,
nobody likes a dirty car after the races, right? I know whenever I have to take the Swagger wagon out there, I don't want to hear from the wife when I get back on how dirty it is, compared to when I take the Dodge. I don't mind it too much, but I still want my baby looking good after a day or two, so I want to take that dirty mess somewhere and get it cleaned up. And you could have something set up with a local car wash to do that and get it discounted for the fans, and again, just something to have more fan support. You could even have a loyalty pass for your loyal fans. If you come out for, say, an X amount of weeks, or say for the month, you come out, we're running a weekly schedule, you make the first 3 Saturdays of the month. On the 4th Saturday, however, you got a way to prove it, show it, you got to set that up, of course, but that 4th weekend, you get in free, Or how about a county or city discount one night? Have a Miller County night at the track, or say a Hooks, Texas night at the track. Let them in for $1. Or hell, do a bring a friend for it, make them buy an admission and get the other guy or gal in free. Buy one, get one free. You got to show proof of residence, of course, but come on, stuff like that's simple. You could have a community night at the track. The businesses that promote, or even the ones that don't, bring them to the track, set up a table, set up a canopy out behind the stands there. They can have activities, hand stuff out, pamphlets, candy for kids, all kinds of things with that. You could also do an autograph session for the fans with these local drivers, maybe during the races, during intermission, whatever it is. Fan interaction is key, in my opinion, to getting them more involved and coming weekly again. So you even have stuff like, we've grown into a college town around here big time, right? So why not have a discounted college ticket? Show your college ID, whatever it is. You think those guys and gals don't want to come out from that college and watch some dirt track racing and drink some cold ones? Come on now. What about a military night? First responders night? Give them thanks for, being those service people that they are. Let them in free. You could create an email list for weekly updates. They don't want to do programs anymore, and I kind of get that. The cost is high for it. You got to put some money into that, especially if you don't have the advertisers to cover it anymore, stuff like that. But personally, I would pay probably $2 or $3. Of course, I'm more of a diehard fan, for a sheet of single damn paper that they printed after the pits were pretty much done filling up. The same thing that they probably use to give the announcer once they get ready to roll with the races. They also have to, hang it up out there to line up the cars and tell everybody where they're starting, stuff like that. Take that piece of paper, sell it for $1. Let's just go ahead and round it down, $1. People would pay that, man. They don't have good enough PAs to hear anything once the cars are pacing the track. So take that piece of paper, charge $1 for it, make a bunch of copies, do it simple, sell it for the $1. How many weeks of that before you pay back your little extra bill of paper and ink there that you're already printing off once or twice for what you're lining up in the pits and what you're giving your announcer? Or hey, get a sponsor to logo at the bottom there. Make them pay for it. And then bam, you've got another way of making profit for the track, for the points funds, for the big shows, whatever it is. Back to the email point of that, though. Have an email that we can sign up for to get race updates for upcoming events, results of past events. Nothing else, I can print that email off and bring it with me, and I'll know what cars are out there, and if it's the same driver, and at least I'll know who's out there. So, just again, simple things that I've sat around and thought of that I just don't know why more time and effort isn't put into, and who knows, maybe you put the time and effort in it, it doesn't work out. I have no idea, but at least I'd lose my money trying something. So, anyway, ran over. I might just giving out $1 million idea there. I don't know, but then again, I may be one of the worst promoters around trying to do stuff like that. But either way, you're welcome. That's my 2 cents on it. So again, we're pretty much done here. I want to thank everybody for listening tonight. I want to thank the drivers for their time again on those interviews. Thanks to everyone that's helped me get this thing going, as well as we had a lot of problems and test sessions here, far and few between, on trying to get this gig officially going there. So appreciate those people. Corey Clements, Shane McDonald, Derek Clements, Timberline Speedway, Billy White, 67 Speedway, Dennis Gardner, Robert Big Daddy Rankin, and last but definitely not least, my wife Kayla. She's put up with my anxiety attacks and mood swings and just downright bad attitude as we work through all these technical issues and got this thing off the ground here to figure out the streaming and everything that goes along with it out there in places like the hollers of BFE, Corley, Texas. So she was probably ready to kill me a couple times, but she didn't. Didn't want to have to do the time for doing the crime, thank goodness. So, so that's it for us tonight. That's all we have. I don't know where you are, but we're done. You can't stay here with us. So enjoy your nights. Drive safe if you're traveling. Don't forget to tuck in those kiddos if you got them there. Count your blessings before another day kicks off tomorrow, because we never know what it holds. So appreciate y'all tuning in, Arklatex. One last time, remember you've been listening to Chase the Ace on the Edge, TXK.com. We'll see you next time, and we'll be back better than ever. Namaste, Arklatex.